do you notice is at the top of the integral on 7? What's at the top? There's a number at the bottom. What's at the top?
X squared.
So what does that make this? What kind of problem? Anybody? It was on your quiz today. It makes it one of the fundamental theorems of calculus. All right, so what that means is, if you have any function that is equal to this fundamental theorem of calculus, when you're done, that is the derivative of that function. And then you have to take this number in the top and you plug it in wherever the t is or wherever the variable is there. So this is going to be x squared to the, is that a 3 for the t cube? X cubed plus 3. And then simplifying this, this would be the square root of x to the 6 plus 3. Now this problem asks, what is f prime of 1? So f prime of 1 means we got to stick 1 in for this. So we get 1 to the 6 plus 3, which is the square root of 4, which would be 2. So that answer should be 2. Number 10 says, let f of x be an odd function. Now you were supposed to learn something about odd functions. I don't know if you've learned this or not, but you were supposed to learn about even and odd functions. Did you guys get taught anything about even and odd functions? No? Did anybody at home get taught anything about even and odd functions?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, even functions are any functions where every variable, no matter what it is, has an even exponent. And numbers are considered even because it's x to the 0, and 0 is divisible by 2. So even functions are this. So you need to know that even functions are symmetrical to the y-axis. So one of the easy ones to show you, and you could check on your calculator by plugging this in if you wanted, but one of the easy ones, if I show you y equals x squared, that's a parabola opening up. So there's a shortcut. There's a shortcut in doing this because the area on this side will equal the area on this side. Those two will be equal. So that, let's say this is negative 2 to 2 here. So in other words, you could say the integral from negative, the integral from negative 2 to 2 of the function f of x dx would equal, and then you could take a shortcut here, and you could just take the area on this right side, that area. You could say that would equal that area from 0 to 2 of the same function. But since this area on this side equals this, you would take and multiply that by 2 on the right side. And that makes the math easier because you're plugging zeros in, and it makes it faster. Y'all understand what I'm saying by that? Okay, now odd functions. Odd functions are where all the exponents of the variables are odd numbers. Not the coefficients. The coefficients can be even. This could be 2. Okay, now that kind of function is symmetric to the origin. Okay, that's symmetric to the origin. In other words, let me give you one that's symmetric to the origin. Y equals x cubed. So if I did x cubed, it goes like this on this side and goes like this on this side. So let's say I'm going from negative 2 to 2 on this one. All right, so you got a point here and a point here. Well, this area,
the area negates the other area.
Will be the exact same as the area on this side. These two areas will be the same. The difference is this is a positive and this is a negative. So as long as you are doing from the same distance from the origin on these, they will always cancel each other out and be 0. So if you look at this, this says from negative A to A. So that means you're going the same distance on both sides of the origin. These two numbers match up. So what that means is the integral from negative A to A of this will be 0 because whatever's on the left will be the same negative amount as the part on the right. So this would be your 0 number on those.
Mr. Woodrow,
Yes.
can we also do number 8?
Number 8. All right, let's do that. I've already done this on another video. It's already on Canvas, but I'll do it real quick. This is just straight up one of your integral problems. The integral of secant tangent is secant. And you're doing it from 0. Does that say pi thirds?
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yes.
would be the secant of pi thirds minus the secant of 0. Well, pi thirds is up here at 60 degrees. And the ordered pair there is a half and a radical 3 over 2. And 0 is over here at this place on the unit circle, which is 1, 0. You're supposed to know that secant is equal to the reciprocal of cosine. So the cosine value is the x value off the unit circle. So this is the cosine of pi thirds is 1 over 2, which is 2. So this is a 2. And the secant of 0 is 1. The reciprocal of 1 is 1. So you get 2 minus 1, which is 1. That's the answer.
Oh, I forgot to subtract the secant of 0.
Anybody else? We want to do power rule on this, but you can't do a power in a denominator, so there is no quotient rule on this. So we leave the integral from -2 to -1. We leave x the same, but we got to bring x to the second up with the 1 by making that a negative exponent, and now we do power rule of each individual part. So we add 1 to 1 and get 2, and it goes underneath. We add 1 to -2, which is -1, and we put -1 underneath. We're still going from -2. I think I did a video of this on another class, maybe. So these two negatives, this negative here and this negative in the bottom, become positives. So then I'm going to rewrite it with a positive exponent. So this would be plus 1 over x from -2 to -1. Then we plug the positive, the top one in first. Minus, and you got to put a parentheses because you got to distribute the negative, plugging in the bottom one to both x's. Now you got to simplify this mess. So when you simplify this, this is 1/2 minus 1 minus 4/2 minus 1/2. So I distribute this negative, this becomes plus, that becomes minus, that becomes plus. So that negative half and this half cancel out. I got negative, that'd be what, -3/2. So that would be the answer on that. And it says in the directions, cross off the absolute value of your answer. What?
Yeah, the answer key said -3 for the answer.
I don't think that's correct. Let me look up.
Mr. Woodrow,
That's positive 1/2. Oh, I put down -1/2 here. There's the problem. 1 divided by -1 is -1. So these don't totally cancel out. That's a -1/2 there, right? 1/2 minus 1 is -1/2. And that's -3/2. That's -4/2. I get -2.
Yeah, that's what I got as well.
It should be 2, but the key said 3,
Yeah.
and he's messed up. Okay? That should be 2. What, Ayush?
we already got number 2 for number 8. So,
Yeah, I think he made a mistake on this problem. This is not the right answer. It says in the directions it's supposed to